And, Charles, you look at getting 2 home games right at the start.
It was all about their defense. Anytime you...
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they were losers that have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works in the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Blue 45.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A look at the lineup defensively for the Ravens, who've been pretty good against the pass, number 10 in the league. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Now starts. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now it's Jackson. Over the middle, that's caught by Scott. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
3-19.
A run here for starts. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. He will push his way down to about the 14. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now it's Jackson, dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. They'll go with a keeper, and he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. They'll try forward down to about the 3-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
They're running with Starks. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This is 3rd and goal, this Chiefs defense. They're giving it all. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now here comes Kansas City. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Blue 45.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 16 carries, 66 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down.
Left, 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 left.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense. Because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers downfield.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the and 6 to start things out. This is Hunt. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. But winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
And that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations?
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run. This is home. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Here's Colton Schmidt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now here come the Ravens. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yards?
They all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Working from the gun, Mahomes into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
He's going to get it running right, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Third and goal, Jackson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. It's a quarterback sneak, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns, and the Ravens will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. In the second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Pulled in at the 24. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Hot.
They go play action here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
26.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. He's got his man on the crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson throwing again. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now here comes Kansas City. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Mahomes now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On first down, Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. And Hill with it over the middle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green, 90.
Hunt gets it on the draw from Mahomes. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here we go now. Blue 40.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Cowboys who are out in front. Big Zeke. Ezekiel Elliott, 2 touchdown runs. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And as you see, they are currently all tied with the visiting Denver Broncos. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on Lamar Jackson. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so. But it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect him, they've really been in sync and been on point. How about the guys going out and catching the ball? Well, the receivers, the running backs, everyone is involved today. And what we're watching right now is really a beautiful team effort, isn't it?
Absolutely. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll begin the drive on the ground with Starks. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This is Scarborough. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson, and the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They run again with Hunt. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Green 90.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's taken to the 26. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep up. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Jackson certainly giving the Ravens a spark in his rookie year. He's got him on the move with a 1st down. This is Starks. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens mark early in the year from the tight end position. 2 games played, 2 touchdowns.
And from what I've seen on tape so far this year, his ability to use the fakes well, his body in the red zone, they should continue to look his way through the entire season.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watkins. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, But you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go. Green 39. Green.
They run with Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical, spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Ready. Green 39.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
After the interception, here's Jackson out to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Starts. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Over. Slam.
Jackson. Forced out to his left. Now the ball comes loose. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
Here we go.
that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go now.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps out the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
Midfield at the 48. They'll start things on first down with Bo Scarborough. Finds a seam inside the 40. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants...
Now Jackson on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here's Jackson on third and long. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Chris Jones in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Mahomes now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready, green 39.
Now it's Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hill. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now Jackson on second down. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Here we go now. 319! 319!
And on the ground they go with a running back. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Jones. Getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Escapes us. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Chris Jones. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now a handoff working right. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Again on the ground, again with Starks. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move.